my name is Alec Snyder, and this is my esports game title presentation on Overwatch 2. Overwatch is developed by Blizzard Entertainment. They are known for some pretty popular games such as World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, and the Diablo series. The parent company of Blizzard is Activision, and they are owned by Microsoft. The original release of Overwatch was in 2016. Since then, they have ended support for Overwatch in favor of Overwatch 2, which is a PvP first-person hero shooter released by Blizzard in October of 2022. It's a very similar game to the first Overwatch, with just some very minor improvements. The average monthly players just last month was 23 million, just over 23 million, and the average daily players was over 2 million. If you wanted to get your hands on Overwatch 2, you can play on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. I started off on the Xbox, and I've since moved to the PC, and I can say that the PC is much, much better for this game. But you can play it regardless, wherever you'd like. It is 100% free to play, and there are no disc copies of this game, so it's only digital. Let's get into some of the gameplay and talk game modes. So, Overwatch 2 is an extremely team-based 5v5 game. They have a ton of different game modes, different ways to play. Personally, I play the competitive mode, but if you weren't into that, they have unranked and arcade modes. Custom games are also available, which allows the community to create their own unique game modes. So if you're bored of maybe playing competitive games, you can switch on over to arcade or custom games and you can have a good time. So, what is the goal of the game? The primary goal definitely depends on the game mode that you're playing, and I can't cover all of them in this video, but we'll just focus on the competitive modes. So, there are four main competitive modes: Control, Escort, Hybrid, and Push. Control, there are two teams. You fight over a single objective, and it's best of 3 rounds. On the escort mode, two teams take turns escorting a payload throughout the map. The team to escort the payload farthest wins. It's like kind of an offense-defense situation. Hybrid is literally just a mix of control and escort. You start off on control, and then you move to escort as the game progresses. And push is an entirely new game mode to Overwatch 2. Two teams compete over control of a robot, and it pushes a barricade throughout the map, and the team that pushes the barricade farthest wins. As I said, there are a lot more game modes if you get into arcade, but we will not be covering that. A team in Overwatch is comprised of heroes. There are currently 35 heroes, and remember, it is a 5v5 game. And each hero is split into one of three categories. So we have tanks, we have damage, and we have support heroes. So here's a little bit more elaboration on the three hero categories. In a 5-person team, there is one tank, 2 damage, and 2 support players. That is how it is for every single team, and you can't change that. Depending on the game mode, though, there are some game modes that allow that, but competitively speaking, it is 1 tank, 2 damage, and 2 support. And the tank offers high survivability, they protect lower HP characters, and they initiate team fights. Whereas the damage players, they are heavy hitters, they are expected to pick off the enemies, and they are oftentimes average to low in HP. And the support players, they offer healing to the team and buffs, but they also have low damage and low HP. They require a lot of protection from the tank and the damage players so that they don't get picked off early in a fight. And that brings us to the Overwatch League. This is the competitive esports league comprising 20 city-based teams and featuring the best Overwatch players in the world. Teams are located in 5 different countries. Here in the United States, we have, I think, 11 teams. Then we have the United Kingdom, South Korea, China, and Canada making up the other 9. The 2022 Overwatch League Grand Finals peaked at 397,000 viewers, and we will watch a little clip from that in just a moment here.
You're going to have a 6 spawn advantage here for the Dallas Fuel, though. Only 2 plays here for San Francisco. It's not much to work with here. How do they touch the cart? The bomber's going to be there. Violet's going to be forced away. He's in grave. touch is there from Striker. He has a death blossom, but there's no chance. The Dallas Fuel take their place amongst the stars to burn brighter than them all, rising to become your 2022 Overwatch League champions.
So, as you can probably tell there from the last clip, Overwatch is an extremely fast-paced shooter. It requires a lot of communication. It can get pretty intense, but overall, it's a really, really fun game. Um, it has a fairly strong learning curve, and what I mean by that is there's just a lot of heroes to learn. There's a lot of different techniques to learn, and it can take a while to kind of get into the groove of things. But once you do, it's really fun, and I would recommend Overwatch to anyone who likes online FPS games. I just included a picture here of my favorite hero in the game. His name is Genji. And that will do it here for my Overwatch presentation. Thank you guys for watching.